Hey y'all, today's section of Have Yourself a Crafty Little Christmas is going to be on glass etching. And I had never done any of this before, but it's a really cute gift idea. I intended to get a casserole dish, but I never made it to the store to get one, and I didn't know if I wanted to use one of mine because I didn't have one with the logo on the bottom, and I didn't know how that would do. So I found this glass. Also, a Dollar Tree find. I'm on a roll with the dollar store stuff this week. But you're going to need just anything glass to do your project on. You're also going to need some rubbing alcohol, and that's just going to be to clean the surface to make sure that your stencil adheres. And then you're going to need a little stencil, and I cut this with my Cricut and weeded it just the opposite of how you would if you were going to stick the vinyl letters to something, just to make a stencil. And you can also buy stencils at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Michael's or wherever. Anyway, here's my stencil, nice and Christmassy. Like I said, I had intended to use a casserole dish, but I think that would be cute, just maybe filled up with candy. You know, wine glasses aren't just for wine, but whatever. Anyway, first thing we're going to do, we're going to just take a little bit of the rubbing alcohol and just make sure that we have a nice clean surface for this. We just want to make sure that it's good and stuck on there by the time we start trying to put on our etching cream. And the etching cream that I'm using is just I think it's called Armor etching cream. It comes in a purple and white bottle. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's like $9.99, but it actually goes a long way. So it's not that expensive, since you can do several projects with it. But I'm also going to take just a piece of transfer tape and lay it over the Noel, just so I can peel it off a little bit easier. And I'm going to take my little tool and smooth it down some, just so that it peels away well, or so we hope. So, because sometimes it's real hard. A casserole dish would have been easier, because sometimes it's hard to get a piece of vinyl straight on a curved surface like this glass, but hopefully it's gonna go okay anyway. But just get all your bubbles out and make sure that's just as nice as you can get it. And then here we go. Well, let's take it to the table a little bit. Oh yeah, I gotta peel the backing off. Y'all, I'm so tired. I'm back at work this week, and just seems like I was already ready to be in Christmas mode, and just getting myself out of the bed every morning has been a challenge. And then I've been working really hard on putting these videos together also, and even though it's super fun, it's kind of time consuming. And so yeah, I'm kind of pooped, but I'm having a good time. So let's get this. That is not exactly straight. Let's stick this Noel on there. And then we want to get our little scraping tool out again and go over that again, because again, we don't want any bubbles that possibly could make the etching cream go where we don't want it to go, because anywhere it touches, it's gonna etch, and we want to keep it within the confines of our stencil if we possibly can. So let's go ahead and, like I said, if you're working on a flat surface, that's going to be a little bit easier. The curve of the glass is not a huge problem, but you know, yeah, it could be easier. So we're just going to do the best we can with what we have to work with. Also, if I had cut the Noel a little bit smaller, it would have been a whole lot easier to get on there too. But like I said, I believe it's going to be fine. We're just going to carefully and slowly pull our tape off. And I think that's going to be perfect. I see one or two little bubbly places that maybe we need to fix, but I don't think they're going to be any big deal. And you can just smooth those down with your fingernail. If it's not right around the letters, you know, don't worry about it much. It's going to be okay. But if it's something that's really close to where a letter is going to be with your etching, you do need to just get that as smooth as you can. So just go back over those and just make sure it's not going to bleed and make your letters ugly, because we don't want ugly letters. This is supposed to be super cute and pretty. So the directions on the etching cream actually say to leave the cream on for 3 minutes, but we want to make sure that that really takes well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to put this on, and then I'm going to go off camera for just a little while and come back and show you how it did. But for putting on the etching cream, you want, I'm going to pull that camera down just a little bit more so that maybe you can see. My light is about to fall on my head, and it's happened before, and it's not fun. It almost broke my nose. Sorry, guys. I want you to be able to see this, though, without hurting myself. If you don't know me personally, you may not know how danger prone I am, but it is a real thing. So anyway, take your etching cream, and you want to put a lot. You don't, this is not something that you want to use sparingly. You really want to just goop that stuff on. Because really, the more the better. Just make sure that you don't get it off of your vinyl, because like I said, anywhere that the etching cream touches, it's going to do its job and it's going to etch. So we want to make sure that we keep it where it's supposed to be. But where it's supposed to be, we want plenty. Just a whole lot of it. And we're going to see how this works out, because I've had this cream for a while, and I hope it's not old, and hope it hasn't lost its potency. I hope it's going to work out fine just anyway. So just put that on thick, and we're going to leave this sitting for 15 minutes, and I'll be back to show you how it turns out. Okay, I'm back. I let that sit for 15 minutes, and then I dabbed the excess off with a paper towel before I rinsed it with running water, because I'm not sure what that would do to your plumbing. Couldn't probably be good. So I dabbed most of it off and then rinsed it with the running water. And so now we're ready to take our stencil off and see what we have. So let's just peel that and see how well that did. Looks like I didn't quite get all the water dried off of it when I dried it after I had washed it. I didn't mention also, it's probably a good idea to wear gloves when you work with the etching cream, because it can irritate your skin. I forgot to do that, but it would be a good idea. Or just be really careful and don't get any on yourself or your clothes. And there you go. Let's see if I can dry that a little bit. Sadly, I do see a couple of little places where I did get out of the lines. I don't know if you can see that in the glare of the camera, but just make sure that you do press your vinyl down really well. And again, it's going to be easier to do on a flat surface. I wish you could see better without that glare. But overall, I'd say that it turned out pretty cute anyway. And again, this would be just a neat gift idea, maybe to put candy in or whatever. And just let your imagination run wild. You know, you can do casserole dishes or whatever you'd like. This project only took about 20 minutes tops. So that's really not bad. And you can personalize, you can do monograms on these, just whatever you wanted to do. But anyway, that is today's episode of Have Yourself a Crafty Little Christmas. And we'll be back tomorrow with another idea for some neat handmade gift giving. We're getting closer and closer to December 25th. The stores are getting crazier, and sometimes it's hard to get orders in at this point, so maybe it might be a good idea to craft your Christmas up right. See you tomorrow.